Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. Nobody's with me because nobody's truly with me. It's simply me. God, that is what I'm talking about. I'm not yet alive. This is the thing you've been sitting tight for, Drake. This is the thing you've been hanging tight for, Jay Z. This is what you've been hanging tight for, Kim. This is what you've been sitting tight for. Assuming there was any opportunity for Kanye and Jay Z to accommodate, it's currently long gone on the grounds that Kanye just put Jay Z on impact for deceiving him and selling out to the elites. Kanye was as of late recorded at his listening party in Las Vegas, going off on every individual who deserted him after Hollywood attempted to drop him last year, and he got down on Jay Z, Drake. Kim Kardashian and others are guaranteeing they generally contrive to remove his children from him in the meantime. Kanye likewise uncovered that his previous fitness coach, Harley Pasternak, who recently undermined his belief that he would standardize him, followed him to Dubai last month. Kanye even showed a video of Harley searching for him at his inn in Dubai, and Kanye's group said they are exceptionally worried about Harley's thought processes. What's more, goals, however, that is not all during his discourse at the listening party. Kanye likewise blamed Harley for killing Aaron Carter, and he uncovered Jay Z for supposedly plotting with Harley to dispose of him too. There's a great deal to unload here, so we should get into it all. Gorge My Girl tore up the lounge chairs in a house to have the option to be with me right now after he got boycotted and deplatformed last year for uncovering the arrangement of control in Hollywood. Kanye is authoritatively back on the music scene, and he's likewise back to getting down on the business snakes and phony companions. Kanye is planning to release another joint collection with Ty Duan, and he was as of late shot at a listening party in Las Vegas, going off on every individual who walked out on him, including Jay Z. Now, to provide you with a touch of foundation, first Kanye and Jay Z's companionship got downright ugly at some point in 2016, and in November of that year, Kanye was sent off into a dangerous discourse during his St. Pablo visit, uncovering Beyonce for purchasing grants and asking Jay Z not to have him killed. Beyonce, I was harmed, because I heard that you said you wouldn't perform except if you did one video a year over me and over Hi My BL. I've been staying here to get my truth, even at the risk of putting my own life in danger. Jays, call me brother. You actually aren't calling me Jay Z. Call me hello, brother. Jays, I realize you have executioners. Kindly don't pass on them in my head. Simply call me now. Kanye wasn't the first to propose. Jay Z and Beyonce have been purchasing and paying off their way to the top. Simply last February at the Grammys, Beyonce raised a ton of eyebrows when she rose up to acknowledge the honor before her name was even read. As we are seeing history this evening, breaking the record for the most shifty successes ever, be upstanding and extend your regard, it's the Renaissance. Beyonce likewise, only days before the Grammys board distributed their rundown of the 50 biggest rappers ever, and they put Jay Z at the main spot, which again started tales about Jay purchasing awards, yet back in 2016, Jay Z actually took part in their hip jump eminent status, so they were angry at Kanye for saying without holding back what every other person was at that point thinking, and Jay Z fought back by dissing Kanye on his collection 444 on the track, killing Jay Z. Jay called Kanye crazy and guaranteed he gave Kanye $20 million to keep him on his streaming stage title. The news that Jay gave Kanye $20 million came not long after Kanye reported he had more than $50 million in private obligations. So Jay was essentially suggesting that Kanye ought to have been thankful as opposed to yelling against him, and Beyonce in front of an audience anyway. Kanye later explained during his meeting with Charlemagne the God that Jay Z didn't really give him $20 million out of his pocket, and that the cash was important for the visiting bargain he made with Live Country, and you could see Kanye was wounded by Jay Z holding that over his head. That idea that you gave me, that he gave me the cash, that baffled me in light of the fact that really the cash was he got from Live Country. Our country was overseeing me at the time. That is something ordinary, that to somebody would give somebody a TA visiting bargain. It was a visiting bargain, yet the way that it was phrased that it came from him, I'm an extremely steadfast, close to home like craftsman, and you realize that that caused me to feel like I owed something other than the actual cash for the way that it came from him. Likewise suggested that Jay Z is the kind of individual who will just assist you so he can later utilize that to control you. You realize it just put me under somewhat to a greater extent, a sort of controlled circumstance it resembles, and I don't. I'm just carrying on of affection. I needn't bother with being controlled. I simply should be propelled and informed. Not long after Jay Z dissed him on 444, Kanye assumed control over issues and recovered responsibility for music by taking out his whole assortment from Teal Now Over. Throughout the following several years, there were a few clues to a great extent that Kanye and Jay Z had accommodated, and Jay even added to Kanye's 2021 collection, which sent fans into a furor since this was the initial opportunity in 10 years that these two teamed up anyway. Kanye immediately understood that Jay Z wasn't exactly appearing to be his companion, and their relationship allegedly finished for good in October of last year, when Kanye freely got down on Jay's and Beyonce for being constrained by the Hollywood elites, and he additionally apparently recommended that they've forfeited individuals for notoriety and cash. They attempt to stifle you yet. That is the way they attempt to sort. They have no control over me. You get what I'm talking about. They have some control over Shake. They had some control over Charles Barkley. They had some control over LeBron James. They had some control over Jay Z and Beyonce. Presently, a few fans were all the while trusting that Kanye would change his see any problems and team up with Jay on his forthcoming venture with Ty Dwayne anyway. During his discourse at the listening party in Vegas, Kanye affirmed by and by that Jay's as of now not a companion since he deceived him and favored the obscure corporate figures who control the business Kanye got going by offering a few remarks that got the media to by and by blame him for being hostile to Semitic, and he guaranteed her. His legal counselors attempted to extort him when he was separating from Kim Kardashian, compromising he could at absolutely no point ever see his children in the future, except if he halted with what they saw as hostile to Semitic tirades who make the emergency clinics. However, who got the clinics he is this is everything I'm attempting to say to you. He said, you all saw me and see my children. You all rich got you all children in that Zionist school. See Eric Gully, my girl, tore up the sofas in a huff. Used to have the option to be with me right now. You all don't have the foggiest idea what's happening for genuine. When I previously put the tweet up, I was managing a separation legal counselor, and I made sense of it. I clarified for the legal advisor what my issue was, and his reaction was to me on the off chance that you keep up this enemy of Semitic ways of talking, you won't see your children, and I realized I could never have an assessment or I wouldn't see my children. Kanye likewise brought up how he was dropped, boycotted, and deplatformed over a solitary tweet, and none of his supposed industry companions said anything. As a matter of fact, they kept wearing Adidas and Balenciaga brands, who were quick to cut attachments with him one tweet, and afterward, a rap. Emmanuel put gracious, we gotta drop this and all watch now. Kanye has certainly got a point here on the grounds that regardless of how you feel about his viewpoints, it's insane to think he was immediately boycotted, lost every one of his agreements, and restricted from virtual entertainment over a tweet. However, take Diddy, for instance, who was as of late sued by various people for trying to beat and deal with them. Just a modest bunch of little organizations cut attachments with Diddy, and practically none of the business figures openly reprimanded him. In all honesty, the Grammys as of late put out a proclamation saying they're actually assessing on the off chance that Diddy will be welcomed to the following honor show. Kanye has never been blamed for paper or DV, but all it took was one tweet for him to nearly lose everything, except Kanye didn't stop at simply getting down on enterprises he additionally named Dro. Jay Z, Drake, and Kim Kardashian suggest that they've all been scheming and expecting his defeat, and he again discusses who truly controls the public authority in Hollywood. This is the thing you have been hanging tight for, Drake. This is the thing you have been hanging tight for, Jay Z. This is what you have been sitting tight for, Kim. This is what you have been waiting for, God. He runs the world, and then under that, you have thousand-year-old families. Under that, you have the Vatican, and under that, you have the monetary gatherings that control all your dark stones. Vanguard, after that, you have Putin, you have Trump, you have this, and after that, you get what this is, diversion Hollywood. Take that, run that back, run into. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.